Okay, welcome once again to this training, which is brought to you by APWEN Bayelsa chapter in collaboration with REnT Engineering Trainings. Okay, what is REnT all about? We are committed to offering excellent trainings designed to meet the current industry standards and career demands. We provide the resources and direction that enable aspiring and working engineers, including students, undergraduates, graduates, and professionals to succeed in their chosen fields. Our services, we carry out CAD simulation, and CAD simulation, we are looking at softwares like Aspen HYSYS, ANSYS, Fusion 360, SolidWorks, and some other simulation software. We carry out CAD training just like what you are participating in CAD consulting, CAD modeling. If you have a CAD project, we can do the modeling for you. We also provide CAD support services and other CAD related contracts. We carry out engineering trainings like process engineering training, piping engineering training, civil engineering training, and a lot of engineering trainings. Our trainings, we do have virtual training, virtual classroom training, which is what you are attending. We have online trainings. We have courses. These online trainings are self-paced courses. We have in-house private trainings. These private trainings covers most times virtual. So there are some persons that might not want to, or we have encountered such people, they don't like the normal group training due to their schedule. So we always carry out private trainings with them, just them. We also have corporate trainings. Corporate bodies can reach out to us to organize one or two trainings, which is one of which you are participating in, organized by APWEN in collaboration with REnT. We also have campus trainings. These are trainings that bodies like NUESA sponsors and maybe department president and all of that. Okay, so what problem are we trying to solve? We have discovered that many professionals who want to acquire new skills in their career face significant challenges. And one of these challenge is lack of time. The traditional in-person training often conflicts with work schedule. That's if you are a working professional. For students, it clashes with your classes. So it's either you meet your class and you're in your training center to learn whichever software you want to learn. Same thing applies to working professionals because the traditional method of training is, 8 to 5, and that's when you're supposed to be at work. But those of you that are participating now are participating from the comfort of your home. Some of you are in the kitchen, you're in your room, dining table, wherever you are, inside the car. All you need is internet connection and either a phone or a laptop. So if you are joining from your phone, all you need to do is click the Google link, make sure you have internet connection and your audio is okay. You can participate in a virtual training. So it makes your life easy and you learn at your convenience. Another challenge is limited access to quality training. Most persons might want to learn this course, but there are few training centers that have the right personnel, qualified training instructor to deliver this training. And these are the key um, solutions we are bringing. You are learning from your convenience at home. So those of you that are working, you are not supposed to be working by this time if you are working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, whichever one. And we're also guaranteeing you that we have the right professionals to carry out this training. So wherever you are, be it Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abia State, wherever you are, you can participate and in any of our training. So if we wanted to organize a physical training, it means only persons in Bayelsa State would participate in this. You get, and the numbers will be very few. But whenever making it virtual opens it up to a vast, um, a majority of persons can participate in the training. So our solution will provide flexible, high quality virtual training programs designed for professionals who want to enhance their skill without disrupting their work schedule by offering industry relevant online training. We ensure that professionals can learn from wherever they are, anytime, and at their own pace, solving the challenges of time constraint, accessibility, and affordability. So affordability is one key thing, because just like I said, after this training, there's going to be an advanced class that will start from the 12th of January 2025, and we are making it affordable, courtesy of APWEN Bayelsa chapter 35,000 for that class. So if you feel if you find it worthy to upgrade your skill, you need to start preparing now. This is November, December, January. So you have like 2 months or 1 month and 2 months time to get yourself ready for the advanced class. Okay, our aim, one of our goals is to bridge the skill gap in the workforce by making professional training accessible. We train you on AutoCAD in a simple to understand manner. We train you to become a professional in AutoCAD without leaving the comfort of your home or office. So there are some professionals that by this time they are still in the office, maybe due to light or one thing. So we had to include that office there. Okay, we help you in achieving your goal of enhancing or acquiring new skill. So who am I? My name is Prince Christopher. Um, I'm no longer the head of engineering, sure. But head of engineering trainings in REnT and also AutoCAD and APWEN training instructor. I'm a CAD engineer and also a project planner at QD International Oil and Gas. I'm also a CAD instructor on Udemy. I have over 7 years of experience as a draftsman and also a CAD designer, 5 years of experience as a CAD instructor, and also a certified professional in AutoCAD for design and drafting. Very simple introduction. So the next slide is going to contain different projects we have done using AutoCAD, be it 2D design, 3D model, realistic rendering, and all of that. So all these are mechanical components that was designed in AutoCAD from start to finish. So in the advanced class, these are some of the kind of um, designs we are going to be doing, but yeah. So all these are things you could design or model rather. Modeling is the right word because all these are modeling. Don't look at how all these things are. They were all designed, modeled in AutoCAD from start to finish. Okay, so what is AutoCAD? AutoCAD is a computer-aided design software created by Autodesk that enables drafters, architects, engineers, and other experienced professionals to create two-dimensional and three-dimensional model of solid surfaces or meshes. Now, one of the reasons why other experienced professionals are included here. This is where we have your instructors, your AutoCAD instructors. Some of them are not engineers, what makes you an instructor? You are teaching, you are different from a field engineer. The way an architect is going to use AutoCAD is quite different from the way an instructor is going to use AutoCAD. So the instructor learns AutoCAD to know mark a lot of the tools and how they are being used. But um, other professionals or engineers, they use AutoCAD to just their field. So for instance, if a CAD engineer is using AutoCAD, basically he's using AutoCAD to review drawings, make corrections where necessary, formats, print drawings. Whenever an architect is using AutoCAD, he's majorly using AutoCAD in getting his architectural deliverables like your front elevation, floor plan. When a surveyor is using AutoCAD, is to plot your land, your plot the land survey document. So other experienced professionals, not only engineers, not only architects, not only drafters, sometimes project planners use AutoCAD. Because when as a project planner, you're going to work with drawings. Um, it's called shop drawings. So sometimes you might need to make corrections. Maybe your client made a mistake. You might need to go there, change some text, um, change some stuff. So there are a lot of persons that, as long as you're an engineer or you use something that has to do with design, somehow you come across AutoCAD. So AutoCAD is used in creating 2D and 3D. When working with 2D, you do 2D designs and you do 3D models. Okay, there are different types of AutoCAD softwares, and these softwares are unique to different professionals or professions. So for AutoCAD architecture, used by architects, AutoCAD engineers, AutoCAD electrical engineers, AutoCAD LT, meaning AutoCAD Lite. We have AutoCAD Map 3D, AutoCAD Mechanical, AutoCAD MEP, which is Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing, AutoCAD P and ID, which is for piping and instrumentation diagram, basically used by process engineers or chemical engineers. We also have AutoCAD Plan 3D used by piping and chemical engineers also, but majorly by piping. We have AutoCAD Raster, we have AutoCAD Structural used by civil and structural engineers. We also have AutoCAD Utility Design. Don't know what it's being used for. Careers as a CAD designer, you can work as an instrumentation engineer, electrical engineer, mechanical and piping. You can work in process. You can use AutoCAD as a CAD designer in developing PFD, which is process flow diagram, and PNID, piping and instrumentation diagram. You can also use AutoCAD in civil/structural for developing your general arrangement drawing and all of that. So you also have senior instrumentation engineer, senior mechanical engineer, senior design engineer for electrical, civil, and piping. So this course curriculum, we are going to look at the fundamentals of fundamental AutoCAD fundamental course, which covers what is AutoCAD and its uses, units, limits, and all of that. So this is an overview of AutoCAD. We have talked about this previously. AutoCAD is being used for architectural designs. It allows architects to create precise floor plans, elevations, sections of building. AutoCAD also supports 3D modeling for visualization. AutoCAD enables mechanical engineers to, you can use AutoCAD for product design and mechanical engineering design. So you can create mechanical part assembly drawings, and there's what you call mechanical representation, where you have your top view, side view, and the 3D model by one side. Okay, it's also used by civil engineers and for infrastructural design, where you can create roads, bridges. I know you can also do your site plan and a lot of things that is involved in that. For those that are into electrical engineering, you can do your schematic diagram, design your panel layout. For those that are into power, you can also create your lighting layout plan, your circuit layout plan, your legends using AutoCAD. For interior designers also uses AutoCAD. People in construction and project documentation also use AutoCAD. So I'm using AutoCAD 2023. This is how, if you haven't used AutoCAD before, this is how AutoCAD looks like. This is what AutoCAD looks like. Okay, so before I go further, I would like to entertain one or two questions. Okay, I have one question. So let's continue. Okay, I believe you all can see my screen. Okay, I'm using AutoCAD 2023. If you are using AutoCAD for the first time, this is what you are going to see, but you are not going to see any recent drawing. You're not going to see recent documents. The reason recent documents are shown here is because I have worked with previous drawings. And so you can see recent, and these are recent drawings I've worked with. So this is more like a shortcut to access your previous documents. You can change it from one style to another. Then here you can see AutoCAD 2023. From here, if I click on open, it's going to take me to my documents where I can open previously saved documents in AutoCAD. Okay, then from here, if I click on new, the moment I do that, I can create a new drawing. So for now, I'm going to click on new. Okay, the reason this is showing, this is because um, I was using this template and doing a design in the office. So in order for me to change templates, I will go back to start, click on this. There are different templates here. Or I'll click on my AutoCAD icon, which is at the top right corner, and click on new. So we have different templates. I'm going to click on a card, click on OK. Okay. So this is the correct template I'm supposed to be using for this training. So this empty space you have here is called your workspace. This is the workspace. This is where you draw everything you want to draw in AutoCAD. And AutoCAD is very vast. AutoCAD is big. AutoCAD is endless. You can draw the entire world inside of AutoCAD. You can draw the entire Nigeria inside of AutoCAD. You can draw a whole state inside of AutoCAD. So everything you want to do, you want to draw an estate, you want to model whatever, all this is done inside of AutoCAD. Okay. After that, I'm going to introduce you to the tools in AutoCAD. The first thing I'm going to introduce you to is the UCS. You can see this icon or object with X and Y. It's called the UCS, your user coordinate system. And AutoCAD also can be seen as a graph. You can plot drawings in AutoCAD, same way you plot you you plot your drawing in your graph. You have your x-axis, you have your y-axis, you have your z-axis. And at the bottom, we have our command line, which is this. I'm trying to bring our command line up. Okay, so this is our command line here at the bottom. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is our command line. I just increased it. So the command line is basically used in inputting shortcuts, and it's it's an important tool in AutoCAD. Why is it important? AutoCAD has three workspaces. You have the drafting and annotation. You have 3D basic. You have 3D modeling. Sometimes you might be, after you have changed your workspace, you might be looking for a certain tool, you can't find it. Or when you are working with large projects, instead of clicking on the line tool every time, that consumes a lot of time. What you need to do is to type line, the full word line, or you can also use the shortcut, which is L. And you can see the preview. The moment you type L, you can see the icon, the shortcuts, and the full word line. Click on it and draw your line. Actually, I clicked on X line. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look at is our view cube. So in your workspace at the top right corner, you are going to see an object NWSE, which is northwest southeast, and you are going to see top. This is called the view cube. It helps you to change from one it helps you to change from one view to another. So if I click on this edge, the edge of the tip of, or the edge here, one of the corners of this cube, I will automatically switch to southeast isometric. So the moment I switch to southeast isometric, my UCS has changed. Now I can see XYZ, which means I am now in the 3D view. So I'm in an isometric view. So if I draw something, for instance, a box, due to the fact that I have the three views, which is the X, Y, and Z, you can see the 2D, and you can also see the 3D aspect. Okay. We also have our ribbon. This entire portion is called the ribbon. The ribbon changes when you click on each of these two. If you click on the insert, your ribbon changes. If you click on annotate, your ribbon also changes. If you click on parametric, which is a title bar, it also changes. Then at the bottom, we also have your drawing aid. You have your drawing aid, and some of these drawing aids we have here is your auto. Now, when you are using your AutoCAD restricts your cursor at a at in the horizontal aspect or the vertical aspect. You can't move your cursor in an inclined angle except you are drawing a box. So for instance, if I'm drawing this box, I can, okay, my object snap is not turned on. So this is the only time I can click on an angle. So the next tool we have is called the polar tracking. Now, what polar tracking does is it helps you, it tracks your line or whatever you are drawing at a specific distance. If I right click on my polar tracking, if I right click on my polar tracking, you are going to see some angles, predefined angles. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, we have 15, 30, 35, 60, we have 18, 36, 54, 72, and all of that. So what we are currently using is 30, 60, 90, 120. And what this means is that when my angle is inclined at 0, AutoCAD automatically starts tracking that line. When it's inclined at 30, AutoCAD tracks that line. When it's inclined at 60, AutoCAD tracks it, 90, 120, 360, and all of that. So with an increment of 30, that's basically what it does. And previously, when I was drawing this, I was able to, click on this edge. That was possible because my object snap was turned on. So if my object snap is turned on, I can snap to specific points on my object. I can snap to center point. From here, I can snap to this. But if it's turned off, if I'm using the line to, I can't snap. I can't snap to it again. I can't snap. I can't do that. Then we also have the object snap tracking. So I'm going to turn on the object snap. So you can say I can snap to this point, but I can't track that particular point. So if I turn on my object snap tracking, you can see that I can track this point now. And I can decide to draw a line from here, click, also come down to this point and track it. Click. See, I can track this point. So this is what your object snap tracking helps you to do. So for this, you have your show line weight, which is turned off. You can add more tools here by clicking on this little, on this hamburger tool here. When you click on it, you are going to see a lot of tools that are here. Whichever one you want, you can just turn it on and off. So I can turn off my line weight. This is the line weight icon. The moment I uncheck it, it goes off. I check it, it comes back. Okay. From here, we also have some other shortcuts to our visual style. So if I don't want to use the normal way in accessing my visual style, I can click on this to customize my visual style. I can change from 2D wireframe to conceptual, hidden, realistic, or shading. And also my view, I can customize my view from here. We have southwest, southeast, northeast. So whatever my view cube does, I can also access these functionalities from here. I can access these functionalities from here. Okay, so before we continue, there are a few things I would like to say. So for this class, after each training, I said assignments are going to be submitted. So for the first class is usually introduction, and we have a method of submitting assignments. Your assignment is going to be posted on your LinkedIn account with specific hashtag for this program. So what you are going to do is take notes of what you are learning. After today's class, what you are going to do is go on LinkedIn and create a post. Okay, I participated in this 1 month free training organized by APWEN Bayelsa chapter and REnT Limited. You tag REnT Limited in your post so that we can get notification that yes, you actually did your assignment, you actually created the post. Then you include the hashtag so that when we are using our algorithm, using those hashtags to track the posts of each student to know who those who actively participated, we can also record yours. So I think that's that. Okay, the first tool we are going to introduce is the draw tool. We are going to talk about the draw tool in this training. So in the draw tool, we have the first tool we have is the line tool. And the line tool is basically used in drawing lines in segments. So when I mean segments is they are totally independent. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle, a random rectangle like this. Escape. So if I click on each of these lines, you can see that they are different. They are basically on their own. You can see that. So this is what makes the line tool. Whenever you're using the line tool, it draws your line in segments. But when I'm using the polyline, the polyline draws the same line, but it makes it continuous. So for line, I can click each of this one and manipulate them separately. But if you click on the polyline, you select everything. So for the line is segmented in segments, polyline is continuous. Okay. The next tool we are going to look at is the circle tool. We have about 6 different applications of the circle tool. For this training, we are going to focus on center radius and center diameter. So while creating your circle tool, you select the circle tool. Next thing you need to do is to select your center point and specify the radius. So for this, I want my radius to be 5. Type 5, hit enter. And this is a circle. Next one is center diameter. You select a center point and specify the diameter. This time I'm going to say, okay, I want my diameter to be 7. Okay, so this inner one has diameter of 7. The next tool we are going to look at is the arc tool. The arc tool has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 different applications we are going to look at. 3 points, start, center, and end. So for 3-point arc, you select the first point, you select the second point, whichever second point, and you select the third point. That's basically how you use the very, very easy tool. Select first point. I'm going to do that again. Select first point, select the second point, and select a third point. I'm going to do that again. Select the first point here, second point here, and the third point here. So you can see I've created an arc, but it's inside of the circle. I'm going to move it right, you can see it. Okay. So the next arc is start, center, and end. And I can click this as my start point, click this as my center point. Okay, no. Start, center. Okay, use this as my center. Then click on any point as the end point. However you want it. That's that for for arc. Okay, so we are going to do some assignments. The next tool you are going to look at is the rectangle tool. This is the rectangle tool. Click on the rectangle tool, select the first corner, and select another corner. That's basically how the easiest way to draw a rectangle, freehand. But when you want to draw a rectangle with specific dimension, you click on the rectangle tool, select the first point. Now you look at, you make reference to your command line. The command line says rectangle, specify your other corner point, which is what we used initially. You can decide to specify the area or dimensions. I'm going to use dimensions. So for this, I'm going to use a reference point. So I'm just going to use this as my reference point. Then it says specify the next point. I'm going to use this. Actually, don't know. Trying to see. Okay, I'm going to use this. So you can see I've specified the dimension. So I can use it to actually measure. Okay. So what I just did, I clicked on the measure tool so that I can measure the distance. So for this, the length is 37 and the width is 16. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Rectangle, select the point, click on dimension. We have 37, I have 16. So you can see that, click enter. Okay, I'm going to post this record. Okay, the next two I'm going to talk explain is the polygon tool. So I first of all delete this. I'll click on the polygon tool, and now it says specify the number of sides. I need to specify the number of sides. I'm going to type 6. Enter. Next thing it's going to ask me is to specify the center point, which I've done that. Then it's going to also prompt me to enter an option. Do I want to draw an inscribed circle or a circumscribed circle? So what I'm going to do is to draw an inscribed circle. Sorry, inscribed inside a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle. Center radius. Okay, so you can see that this is inscribed inside of the circle. I'm still going to use this reference. Use this circle as the center point and use circumscribed. Still click on this point. So for circumscribed, it's looking like the second polygon is bigger than the first. Actually, they all have the same radius. They all have the same radius because the reference point is this circle. But the difference is one is inscribed and the other is circumscribed. So for this training, for today's class, we are going to basically look at the draw tools. Then there are other tools I didn't introduce. At the top right, at the top left corner, we have our quick access. So the quick access, these are the quick access tool. All the tools you can find in the quick access are contained in the AutoCAD icon. So if I click on this AutoCAD icon, you are going to see new, open, save, save as, import, and all of that. So all these tools, that's what you can find here. The first one is new. The second one is open, save, save as. This is open from web. This is save to web. This is print, undo. Then you also have this, which is to change your workspace. You can also change your workspace from here. You can save current workspace. You can also customize what you have on your quick access. By clicking on this little drop-down icon here, I can decide to remove my my workspace settings. The moment I do that, it goes off, and turn on batch plots or whatever I want to turn on. I can also decide to remove these two. Save to web, save to this. I haven't used it before. Don't think I've made it safe. So I can decide to turn on my layer and all of that. Okay, the next tool we are going to use is the switching workspace at the bottom. So from here, you can see a gear icon at the bottom here. The moment you click on this gear icon, you have the three predefined workspaces: 2D drafting, 3D basic, and 3D model. So you can change your workspace from this. I'm currently in 3D basic, so you can see that I have the 3D, my 3D tools are now available, but these are the basic 3D tools, which is box, extrude, revolve, loft, sweep, press pull, union, subtract, intersect. All these are basic 3D tools. Then when I switch to 3D modeling, which comprises of a comprehensive overview of all the 3D tools and surface tools. So from here, you can see your solid editing tools, you can see your modeling tools, you can see surface tool, mesh tool, visualize, parametric, insert. This has all the tools you need. I'll switch back to annotation. Then we are going to take one example. Few examples rather, not one example.